The legendary Spanish singer Julio Iglesias, renowned worldwide for his romantic ballads and charismatic stage presence that have captivated audiences for decades, now finds himself at the center of deeply troubling and shocking allegations. Reports have emerged detailing claims of sexual abuse made by two women who previously worked as live-in employees at his luxurious residences in the Caribbean. These accusations center on incidents said to have occurred at his properties in Punta Cana, located in the Dominican Republic, and Leyford Cay in the Bahamas. The year in question for these alleged events was 2021, a time when Iglesias was 77 years old, still maintaining an active lifestyle despite his age and long career in the music industry. One of the women involved has come forward with a particularly harrowing account. She described being repeatedly pressured into sexual encounters with the singer, encounters that she says left her feeling profoundly objectified and powerless. Beyond the sexual demands, she alleged a broader pattern of physical and emotional mistreatment, including instances of slapping, constant verbal abuse, and deliberate humiliation. She portrayed the overall atmosphere in the household as one dominated by control and an underlying sense of fear, where employees felt unable to speak out or resist without severe repercussions. In her own words, she stated that the singer used me almost every night, emphasizing how she felt reduced to the status of an object or even a slave in the environment. This description paints a picture of exploitation that goes far beyond a single incident, suggesting a sustained dynamic of coercion and degradation over an extended period. The second accuser, who worked in the role of a physiotherapist for Iglesias, has shared her own set of serious claims. She alleged experiencing unwanted kissing and inappropriate physical touching that crossed professional boundaries. Additionally, she reported being subjected to insults and various forms of degrading treatment while in his employ. These allegations, like those of the first woman, point to a pattern where personal and professional lines were blurred in ways that left the employee feeling violated and disrespected. The nature of her position as a physiotherapist would typically involve close physical contact in a therapeutic context, making any non-consensual advances or degrading comments particularly egregious and a betrayal of trust. Despite the gravity of these accusations, Iglesias and his legal team have chosen not to provide any public response or comment when approached by media outlets seeking their side of the story. This silence has only fueled further speculation and discussion about the validity of the claims and what might be unfolding behind the scenes. Interestingly, a former supervisor who was specifically named by one of the accusers has come forward to defend the singer. This individual described Iglesias in glowing terms, calling him humble, generous, a true gentleman, and someone who was always very respectful toward all women. This contrasting perspective introduces an element of complexity to the narrative, as it highlights how perceptions of the same person can differ dramatically depending on one's position and experiences within his circle. The emergence of these allegations against a figure like Iglesias carries significant weight in the broader cultural landscape. Iglesias has long been celebrated as one of the most successful Latin artists in history, with a career spanning over 5 decades, countless hit songs, and a global fanbase that spans generations. His image has often been that of a suave, romantic icon, someone whose appeal lies in his charm and emotional expressiveness through music. Allegations of this nature directly challenge that carefully cultivated public persona, raising questions about power dynamics in celebrity households, the treatment of domestic and support staff, and the accountability of high-profile individuals even in their later years. Such claims also resonate with ongoing conversations about workplace harassment, consent, and the exploitation of vulnerable employees in private settings. Live-in staff at luxury residences often work in isolated environments with limited external oversight, which can create conditions ripe for abuse if boundaries are not respected. The accuser's descriptions of fear, control, and humiliation underscore how psychological pressure can be just as damaging as physical acts, making it difficult for individuals to report incidents or seek help promptly. As these stories continue to circulate, they prompt reflection on the responsibilities that come with fame and wealth. Supporters of Iglesias may point to his long history of philanthropy, his family-oriented public image, as a father to several children from different relationships, and testimonials like that of the former supervisor to argue for skepticism toward the claims. Critics, however, may see the lack of immediate denial or explanation as concerning, especially in an era where many public figures address serious allegations swiftly to control the narrative. The situation remains unresolved publicly, with no formal legal proceedings mentioned in the reports thus far. Whether these accusations lead to investigations, lawsuits, or further testimonies is unclear, but they have undeniably cast a shadow over Iglesias's legacy. For a man whose voice has brought comfort and romance to millions, these voices now accusing him of harm represent a stark and painful contrast. The coming weeks and months will likely reveal more about how this chapter unfolds, whether through statements from those involved, additional details emerging, or perhaps a quiet resolution away from the spotlight.